Hey guys, happy Saturday. Hopefully your Saturday's going good. Trying to get everything done for today, guys. I'm actually on my way to the casino, or not casino, but to the card room to play in a poker tournament. I got a late start today. I had to do some laundry. I wore my Lucky shirt yesterday, so I had to wash it and make sure it was clean for today. And this is usually a very lucky shirt for me. Look at this asshole. Anyway, it was lucky that I didn't just hit that guy. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm going out to Ebro, and they've got a tournament starting. So what I'm going to do is, it starts at I think 6 o'clock. I'm going to get out there a little early. I go ahead and do my registration. I may play a little bit of a cash game. I have some fun. But I figured, you know what, while I'm heading out there, I might as well stream a little and see what you guys are up to on Saturday. Hopefully you had a good Friday. I might do some streaming. If I do well in the tournament and everything, and I got some, I should be kind of high on adrenaline when I get home tonight, so I might do a little streaming to this evening, or just tool around the channels and see who's doing what out there. But I wanted to make sure that I kind of touch base with you and let you know what's going on today, because being Saturday, this is the time where you kind of look for anything to do on the weekends, you know? At least I do. I try to find something to keep me busy, keep me occupied, and last night I worked a little bit on the overlays for the new channel that I told you I was thinking about changing the channel, or just starting another channel to do as well. A little bit more versatile. But I was trying to come up with the concept, what is it, and that's everything I've watched on YouTube. Being that I'm a new streamer, and I'm just kind of technology I've been into forever, so it's not a technology thing. It's really just trying to wrap my arms around what makes a successful channel and what makes it, and everything I've read and everything that I've watched, it kind of all goes around the same thing. Do something that you love. Do something that you like. And I keep thinking to myself, going, I don't know if for what my interests are obviously kind of what does that call it? It's like where you have a very narrow market of viewers. I love to play poker. I love this. I love to play online poker. I love to play casino poker, and I love to my wife. We love the scratchers, to do this lottery tickets, and just kind of things that if you win, if you do well, you get that little adrenaline rush from it. But I just don't know if I can make a channel out of that. I'm like, how many people are going to watch? They watch people playing Fortnite, or they watch people playing, World of Warcraft or Call of Duty and all these other games. They have followers because they do those. But I'm sitting here thinking, how many people would actually watch and listen to me banter about poker? Even when I go to the poker channels, I'm sure there's people that have been on those channels forever, and special ingredient with your stream that makes it, of course, what's going to make it successful. I don't know what that special ingredient is. I've probably now viewed hundreds of channels, and some that are specialized, they might talk about cars, or it's just tough because, man, I'm so all over the board in life. It's like anything is fair game for me. So, and I just don't know if that's an issue with doing a channel. I have no idea. Nectar of the gods, guys. Nectar of the gods. Gotta have it. Get that caffeine in my system. But so anyway, as I'm looking at these channels, looking at putting them together, there's a part of me that says, all right, what is it that's going to make it successful? What is it that's really going to make it fun? Something that I really enjoy, and plus something that'll be entertaining for you guys to even want to watch it. And yeah, I could add, I tell you guys before, there's a channel I watch, and I've watched him for years and kind of evolve, Barnacles, and he gets pretty wild on his channels for about 15 minutes, it's neat and it's fun and it's kind of his personality, and I enjoy watching it. But I kind of, for myself, when I watch, I look for substance. I look for just some fun conversation. I look something that I can kind of dive into, and it's hard to find. And I don't think that I would have, like I said, my interests are so all over the board. I mean, it's not just poker. I mean, to the things that I'm into. You talk to me about business, technology, and innovation, or poker, or the things that I enjoy. Oh man, that would be odd. Matter of fact, you know what? Well, maybe I just answered my own question. Maybe I just answered my own question. Maybe the channel I could do is just business, technology, and innovation. See now, and throw that poker in there as a bonus, I guess. I don't know, huh? Anyway, some good ideas. Just the wall. I don't know if you know how many folks out there are for the wall or against it. I'm for it. It's a good thing. It should be funded. Pelosi and her Democratic cronies should be thrown out, and they should all be whipped and then strung up by their toes in some field covered with honey and walk away from them, because they're all a bunch of career politicians that have done nothing but string it out for 30 years of what they've been working on. So, personally, I'm all for the wall. Great thing. It'll keep the drugs out of this country. A lot of them, not all of them, but it'll keep a good portion of the drugs out, keep a good portion of the illegal immigrants out, and it'll keep a good portion of the crime and the criminals and the criminal elements out. So I think it's a good thing. What else can we talk about? The Democrats put a thing up there, and they were voting. They want to have it to where you can you have a legal abortion up to the 3rd trimester, even as the baby, even as the mother is dilated and giving birth. She's dilated, prepared to give birth. You can still do an abortion. Once again, Democrats down. Bad idea. Terrible idea. You should be strung up by your toes and horsewhipped out in the field. Bad idea. Whether you're for abortion or against it, or whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, whatever you want to call it, the bottom line is waiting that long is too long. So if you were for that, then you're an idiot, and I'm right. You don't do it. After the 3rd trimester, you don't do abortions. Period. After that, that's just common sense, medically unnecessary. Period. What else can we talk about? What's that? Gun control. Gun control is a big one. Let me think. All right, very simple. Gun control is not complicated, people. Gun control should be the following. You, the American people, should be allowed to own 100 pistols. If you want to own some 9mm, some 45s, 357s, 30, whatever you want, you can own 100 pistols if you want. You want rifles? Go out and get another 100 rifles. You want a couple hundred shotguns? Go buy. You should be able to have all the pistols, shotguns, and rifles your heart desires. However, with that being said, as a civilian, if you're not prior military or somebody that has a law enforcement background, you have no business having assault weapons. Assault weapons should be highly regulated, highly illegal for anybody that has one. Unless you are prior military, you've passed a great stringent background check, not these cheap ones that you can get for 99 bucks. I'm talking a good background check. So I'm totally against assault-style weapons or fully automatic weapons for the general public. I don't think they have any need for them. You want to fire them? If you own a firing range, let people come out. I think you could go ahead and get a license for them to allow them to enjoy them and fire them and have the thrill of doing it. But I don't think that they need to be in the hands of anybody in the public sector. Very simple. But otherwise, knock yourself out. 100 guns, pistols, rifles, shotguns. That's the right to bear arms. Those are the arms you need to bear. You don't need light anti-aircraft weapons. You don't need hand grenades. You don't need fully automatic weapons. You disagree with me, you're an idiot. I don't care. It's just when the damn thing was written, they were using muskets and little musket balls or whatever you want to call them. That was the weapons they had. They didn't have fully automatics, so you don't need them. You want to protect yourself, protect your family. If you can't do it with the mainstream weapons, my friend, I don't care what you got, you can't protect your family. So I don't want to hear about, unless you're going to be, telling everybody that, oh my God, we could be, that's what they say. Oh, well, no, it was to fight against a tyrannical government. Back then they had that. Now that's not an issue. Take your pistols, rifles, and shotguns and shut up and move on with that. So let me see. We've covered abortion. We've covered the wall, which is a good thing. We've covered handguns. What else can we go through? Let's think about what else is there out in the world that we could tackle. Let's look at gas prices. I just put $50 in my tank, $2.22 a gallon. We want to have 7 years of prosperity in the United States, and we're going to do that with your help. You're going to charge us whatever it takes to get our gas prices down to 99 cents a gallon. So for $1 a gallon, if you got to sell us oil at $18 a barrel or whatever it takes to get our prices driven down to 99 cents a gallon for the next 7 years, it's all that money, the billions and billions and billions of dollars that are saved will flood back into the economy. People will go out to eat more, they'll travel more, go on trips more, they'll go ahead and they'll start taking their family vacations more often, and they'll literally pump all that saved money back into the economy, thereby boosting the economy even more. So there's another thing, problem solved. What else do we got? We're on a roll here today. Let's go ahead and just kind of throw it all out there on a Saturday. See what people agree with or not. I'll probably be on this evening late. The tournament starts at 6 o'clock. It'll probably go to a bit. Or send me an email, povamerica@outlook.com. You can go ahead and send me an email if you disagree. But I'd love to dispute it with you, and I'd love to discuss it with you. Feel free to catch me online, catch me in the live stream at 7 o'clock during the weekdays. Legitimate argument. Don't hand me this all the shit that you heard Rush Limbaugh say, or I was listening to Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity, or I was listening to Glenn Beck, and I don't want to hear what anybody else said. If you have a legitimate argument that goes against any of my beliefs, what I think, I'd love to hear it. Maybe you can convince me otherwise. I doubt this. The Democratic and Republican. I had absolutely no loyalty to any political, any of the different parties, because I had not been following politics for 30 years. I was raising a family, working my ass off. I served my country, did 80 years. Kids and the bad people out there, and make sure that they did well. Now they're grown, they got kids of their own, and they're doing really well. Wow! Hey, Trump's president, that was cool. The Apprentice, and it was a good show. First couple seasons anyway, So let's see what he can do. He's so far, you know what? Unemployment at an all-time, even above what they thought it was going to be. So, all the things he's done, people want to say, and he's upset, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't care if he lies, if he bangs every hooker this side of the fucking Mississippi. I don't care. None of that matters to me. You know what matters to me? He runs my country efficiently. He does what's best interest of my family and my country. What he does with his personal life, he can lie, cheat, steal all he wants, as long as it's not affecting me, my family, or my country negatively. And I don't believe it is. I don't believe anything he's done, reaching out to North Korea, everything he's done, I don't believe that's hurt my country at all. He's doing what needs to be done, and he's doing it in a way that most of the Democrats don't agree with, which is par for the course, because they're pretty much idiots anyway. I mean, abortions into the third trimester. What are you, idiots? Anyway, so that's kind of the way that goes. Then, let's see, what else can we do? let's touch on religion. You know what? If I'll be an equal opportunity offender today. Let's talk about religion. How many people believe in God? Raise your hand. I can't see, but if I'm assuming there was somebody out there, raise your hand. I myself, people say, "Oh, you're an atheist." No, I'm not atheist. I was actually, just to kind of let you know, I was a pastor for 4 years at New Faith and Gospel Church. I was the pastor. It's not that I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the Bible the way it's written, the way people interpret it. I think that my belief is very simple. I will neither confirm nor deny the existence of God. I'm not agnostic, but I don't believe that any of my beliefs should impact your beliefs. So if you were to ask me, I will say, do I believe in a supreme being, meaning somebody that is smarter than I am and larger than I am? And I will say to you, yes, I do believe that everything here was a product of intelligent design. I believe that. I believe that when you look at DNA, if you're a science person, and you look at the DNA double helix, the strand of DNA that is made up of 4 proteins, and you notice that those proteins have to be in a certain order to make the different organisms like humans or cows or dogs, and you consider the fact that we as humans create computer software programs, just like the very programs that are allowing me to reach you via broadcasting live over the over the internet here. You have to understand that all of that software, all of that code, everything that runs your computer, that launches our missiles, that makes your TV and your radio, everything work, all of that stuff is nothing more than ones and zeros. It's just code. It's just computer programming code that is put into chips. That code itself, those 2 digits, 0 and 1, called binary, that code makes up all of the software that runs everything. So is it 2 out of if we have a 0 and a 1, now let's take a look at the 4 proteins that make up your DNA. Let's just call them 0, 1, 2, 3. So now you have 4 instead of 2, 4 binary proteins, if you will, and you put them in a certain order, it'll give you the organisms that you have today, just like our computer software programs give you what you use. So to me, is it possible that there is an intelligent design that says, let's put these DNA proteins in this particular order so we can make a human? Yes. Can we put them in this particular order to make a garden slug? Sure. Can we put them in this particular order and make trees and all these? Absolutely. Every living thing has DNA to it, and I believe that there is a supreme being that actually can code and actually create you and me and everyone else and everything else. Now, when you talk, is that a God? Well, what is a God? What is your definition of a God? All powerful, all knowing, all everything? Is that God? Does God have the ability from great distances to smite you? And if you don't believe in Him, is that what you believe? Or do you just believe in a supreme being that created everything? I don't know. That's the question I'm asking you. I personally happen to believe there is a supreme being. There is something greater than me. Whether or not He has, for example, the Bible will tell you when you die, you appear before God, and if your name does not appear in the book of life, you're going to go to hell. And they say that God knows everything. He knows you. He knows everything you've ever done, every thought. He is omnipotent in that respect. You cannot hide anything you've done from God. Now, I have a unique perspective on that as well. Let me explain something to you. Long before we had computers, we had pens and papers, and we would archive things on paper. Anybody that went back and read what we wrote down, that was the information they received, because we wrote it down, it was documented, and it was saved, and that's how it was. Now, as technology advanced, we have computers, then we have hard drives. So, all the data that is saved around the world on these storage devices. Oh, I'm getting a poor connection. I have a poor connection. But next time I'm on, remind me if you catch one of my streams, and we'll come back to this because I'm going to tell you how an omnipotent God can know you and everything you do. So we've covered gas prices, we've covered the Trump wall, we've covered abortion, gun control. We'll tap some more of these things later, but just thinking out loud. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go because I'm going to come up to, I'm getting out in the boonies now, so it's going to affect my connection. So wish me luck on my tournament. I'll try and catch you guys either this morning or maybe tomorrow. I'll do a stream. We'll have some fun and throw out some other things out there. So I'll talk to you soon, guys. Have a great weekend.